What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop. MLB DFS conversation starts right now. Taking you up to first pitch, 7:05? I think it's 7:05 tonight. 11 gamer, kind of a big boy slate going down. You got us for an hour and 15 minutes. Then chief mineralogist Kevin Roth comes in. Crunch time. Dave Potts, Cheese is Good, two-time millionaire winner, as well as Kristi will be taking y'all home on Crunch time. Bobby Gomes running it back from yesterday. Bobby, how are things? Happy Tuesday.
Feeling better. Rough morning with eggs. Hit me on the show, not the greatest. Yeah, sometimes when I eat eggs, for whatever reason, they upset my stomach. I went for them yesterday, and
I may or may not.
And then it just went bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you know this. I said it may or may not have a little bit of an homage to yesterday's show. Today's tiers board, kind of an homage to you. We'll be talking about that later on when we're throwing some teams and some stacks. It's also a television Tuesday, so let's drop that first clue. Let's give the people the first clue. We got producer TJ, behind the old proverbial glass. Going to go ahead and drop that on the scroll for the people. First clue for television Tuesday is tail, and you know how to respond. You guys know where to get the answers or give the answers in the Discord channel, rotogrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel. That's only the only spot where your answers are acceptable. If you want to put them in the YouTube, by all means, I suppose you can do that too. You don't get anything for it. Shout out to you though. Hey, if you're in YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe and turn on those notifications. Do all those things. Don't go anywhere. Next 2 hours, MLB DFS 11 gamer. A lot going down as far as today's slate, Bobby. Glad you're feeling better. Happy you're feeling better. What are we thinking as far as today's slate? I could tell Marte, by the way, if you missed it, not in the lineup today. Arizona, one of the more popular stacks. They're playing later. They did drop their lineup. There's no Ketel Marte. I thought there was a chance. We're going to get Corey Seager. Unfortunately, they're saying no on Seager today, but Seager should be back tomorrow. I thought he would just get healthier because of the matchup against Bowden Francis, who's been just the worst pitcher in baseball as far as giving up home runs. Like, that's a fact. It's like 2.5 or 2.6 per nine. Nobody has more than that if they've thrown 50 innings or more this season. In fact, there's only two guys all season long that have given up 2 homers per nine if they've thrown 50 innings. Francis being one. I think Jamison Tyone was the other one. So just giving up a boatload of homers, more so to the left-hand side. So unfortunately, we don't get Seager today. And we don't have a lot of lefty power either for Texas. But yeah, no Seager, no Ketel Marte. Lineups are coming through. Weather Edge is also down. I don't know when that's going to be fired back up. I imagine they're working on it as we speak. They were talking about it in chat. I will tell you that last I saw when Weather Edge was working, we have another wind game, I guess reverse wind game. Well, there's always wind as far as affecting the hitters in Wrigley. That's why we have a 7.5 total, in part also because the Rockies offense is inept and they have a 2.5 team total, which is, I don't know how it gets much lower than that. Wind is blowing in. It's pretty cold as well. I don't know if you saw the clip yesterday, Bobby. Did you see PCA? He just absolutely annihilated a baseball, Pete Crow Armstrong, and he thought for sure he couldn't believe the ball did not leave the ballpark. And it's similar conditions to what it was yesterday. It doesn't mean the Cubs can't get there. They still have 5 total. They're facing one of the worst pitchers in the bump, Aaron Marquez, who used to be good. He's no longer good. But did you see that by chance? Did you see PCA just kill a baseball, but it died in the warning track because the wind is obviously it's an issue there in Chicago.
I did not. No, I didn't. I wasn't watching. I wanted the Cubs yesterday. I don't think it would have mattered for me if I had some Cubs, but I wouldn't have played PCA anyways. I think it was more on Tucker and Suzuki and Swanson. Yeah, interesting slate today, Dean. Interesting slate. I really like the Yankees bats. Arizona bats looked fantastic. I think Marte being out of the lineup, it obviously takes a hit.
Yeah.
We have Cade Horton pitching in that win game was going to be relatively chalky. Deciding what you do with him, I think he's likely good chalk. It's more paying up where I have question marks. Hunter Brown, Rodon, who I want to play out of those two. I don't know, Dean. I don't know. Interesting slate, though, overall.
I was on the survey today, and my overview, my kind of sort of screenshot is that I like a lot of things. I don't love anything. There's nothing I love. There's nothing I feel like I have to have. There's nothing I'm afraid of not playing. Like, I can't imagine not playing the Cubs, like you said. I'm probably going to be under the Cubs for the record because just that wind. It's just maybe they scratch out 8 or 9 runs, but how many homers are they actually going to get? It's possible, sure. It's just a lot tougher to get there. I like a lot of the offenses. I don't love any offense. The Mets are another popular offense. It's not the great, ballpark environment we want. If you want to say like guys like Soto or Cold, whatever, I guess you could say that if you want to. I still think he's going to be fine. Yeah, but somebody in chat here is talking about Marquez as a potential option in the roster as far as pitchers. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he gets any strikeouts.
There's no way Marquez makes my pool. I get it with the win, and I do weigh the win, so that's why I like Horton today. Like, regardless of his K rate isn't the highest, the Rockies strike out a bit, so it's fine with me for his K rate, and it'll get a little boost with the Rockies and then the win. But Marquez, man, versus these Cubbies, I'm not
playing Marquez. No chance.
Yeah.
I think just like not playing the Cubs is enough of a way at being, I guess what is Marquez going to get? Even if like he's not getting shellacked with homers, he's also not going to pile up a bunch of strikeouts. I can't imagine.
I think that you can play the Cubs or just be cognizant of how I play them. Right.
Yeah. I'm not saying you can't. And I understand why people would. I think, Dave's going to be on later. I think he's in the Cubs. I read his article earlier today, and I'm fairly certain he was talking about them being one of his favorite stacks. And I get of course, why wouldn't they be? Except for the weather. And again, how that's lined up. Last we saw with Weather Edge, we'll get a refresh when it's firing up and working. But I actually had the weather page. Ross report that he actually writes out. He was talking about chilly temperatures, winds in from left at roughly 10 miles per hour, great pitching weather, bad home run hitting weather. And he even says, ask PCA how he feels about the wind, because again, it's like he just couldn't believe that ball did not go out. Eric in chat is saying Marquez's over under strikeouts is 3.5. So yeah, maybe he gets the 4. I don't know, but I'm not going to be on it. And, I'm not that desperate for salary, and I think there's decent enough pitchers where I do not have to scrape the barrel and consider Germán Marquez. Not something I'm doing. Ownership wise, Bobby, we're seeing. I thought Hunter Brown would be a little less owned, and maybe this stuff will change because he's like a pay up to be different. That's where my brain was. We basically have a 4-way tie. That's what we're seeing right now. Cade Horton at 29%, Carlos Rodon at 28%, who, by the way, I believe he has Bill Miller, who, if you don't know, Bill Miller, the best umpire to have behind the plate as far as calling balls and strikes. I like Rodon as well. Hunter Brown at 27%, and then Tyler McGill. He's got 3 dots as well on the lineup HQ. So a lot of the experts like him, 26%. And there's Joe Ryan, who's good too. The ballpark, of course, is not great there in Tampa, but he's good skill set. Burns, great matchup against Pittsburgh. That's kind of the extent of my pitching pool. Eovaldi's a little too expensive for me. He's been pretty good this year, obviously. He's been very good this year. Still at 36. Toronto's kind of a contact-heavy team, so I don't think I'm getting there. If I'm spending up on Brown. I'm curious your thoughts. How are you seeing the pitcher pool? Do you have sort of like groupings? Have you whittled it down to it's 6 guys in the bucket? Where are we at?
Yeah, it's going to be Horton, Rodon, McGill, Hunter Brown. And from there, I don't know. Corbin Burns versus the Pirates, he's looked good. 9-3. I prefer him to Eovaldi's 10-3. The issue for me is, like, if I did want to pivot off of, like, Horton at 8K, like, where do I pay down? Like, I just don't – I'm not really finding a guy I like, right? Like, I don't want to play Mitchell Parker, I don't think. I don't want to play Daniel Lynch.
Taj Bradley, maybe?
It's a weather game, though.
What's the weather in Tampa? You're saying it's hot? Oh, it's because it's hot?
It's hot and the winds are blowing out. Let me see. Winds in
mid-80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that Minnesota lineup is
high winds, 9 miles an hour to left.
I mean, it's kind of baked into the price, and Bradley hasn't been great this year. I still sort of believe in the skills. Maybe I'm wrong to keep believing that he's going to be, going to be better. but he hasn't been very good this year. Too many walks. The ERA's of 4.5 or so, 4.61. This year is 4.3. I don't like this Minnesota offense. The absence. It's not just Buxton, but there's also no Royce Lewis. These guys are not good. Correa, I know he homered yesterday, and good for him. The back half, Kiersey, Castro, Bride, Clemens, Grants. I just don't like this Minnesota lineup. I don't know if I'm into salary, but I'm just sort of giving you the answer as far as if there's a cheapie pivot away from you're talking about not rolling out with the Cubs
really, Daniel Lynch's K rate's so low. He's terrible.
I don't think he's going very deep either, Lynch.
Yeah, he's not going deep. Mitchell Parker, he would be the other one versus the Mariners. I mean, Mariners have a high K rate, but I don't know if I want to play Mitchell Parker. I guess he's at 6'3".
I don't.
Yeah. So there's no real cheapie that interests me. I like Max Myers 200 up from Horton. I like the Padres a little bit today as a stack, especially like Tatis, Merrill, Machado, Cronenworth's fine. So I don't know. It's mainly like the guys that there's no one really standing out outside of the main guys being Horton, Rodon, McGill, and Hunter Brown for me. Do you have anything that you see? There's no way I'm going to Bowden Francis. I can tell you that much.
No. Even way too many home runs and fly balls.
Way too many home runs, even with Seager not being in the lineup. But there's no way.
And Texas kind of stinks. So I can't.
They don't strike out though. They don't strike out is the issue.
I really wish Seager was there today, but I'm going to get over it. I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah, they would have been an interesting stack with Seager. I was hoping Seager was going to get in there too.
He would be my favorite play in the slate, without question.
Yeah.
So if I have a take, I'm going to be playing some Cade Horton, but I think I'm going to be a little less in the field on Tyler McGill. They just don't let him go very deep. Even if he's pitching well, he's got a 30% K rate, and good for him. I don't believe that's going to continue going forward. It's actually 31%. His swinging strikes at 10.9%. So it feels like he's been a little bit lucky there. The walks haven't been good either at 10.8%. Now, of course, the counterpoint is why he's popular is he's facing a terrible. He's facing the White Sox, who made a trade today. They traded their catcher, Dice. I don't 1-1A as far as their backup catcher or not. Trying to remember where he went to. Tampa? I think he went to Tampa. It wasn't a significant trade, but he was traded for what it's worth. And he doesn't throw maybe 80, 85 pitches or so. He hasn't gone beyond 5 innings in his last 5 or 6 starts. Even when he's pitching well, the leash is very, very tight.
Is Eric Johnson heckling us in chat?
What do you mean?
He said, you get what you pay for. Free isn't good.
In what context? What is he referencing? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just assume he's always heckling us. Good-natured heckling, I would imagine.
I thought you said it was because they gave Matt no, right above in chat, Mr. Gerg says the Astros are practically free.
Yeah, it's another team that I kind of like today.
I missed it. I was like this. What?
I hate that I like the Astros and the Rangers.
We're not in the weeds like some of these other shows where they're giving you every stat, but I think we talk a good bit about construction, and that's definitely important. So,
man, there's 22 teams playing baseball today, and 2 of my favorite teams, I use favorite loosely, are the Rangers and the Astros. And how has that worked out this year? Yeah, and it's not good, but that's kind of where we're at. They're also cheap. They're stacks that can help you get better pitchers, help you get a couple big bats here and there as well. But McGill, his last 85 pitches. They didn't even let him finish the 5th inning last time out. He wouldn't have been eligible to win. I think it was a tie game or something like that. But he had 10 strikeouts, 85 pitches. They cut him off. I think he had a walk or a hit batter or something like that. 4 2/3, 2 2/3, 4 2/3, 5 innings. He did go 105 against Washington a month ago. They tend to not want to push him too hard. I know the Mets have been awesome this year as far as pitching collectively. He's taken a step forward as well. The K's have been great. I still don't totally buy that K rate. That's one of my pivots, I think, to be different. And I thought it was going to be different to spend up on Hunter Brown and pair him with Cade Horton. Again, we're still kind of putting all four of those guys similar as far as ownership. And maybe my read's just wrong. I thought that people were going to gravitate towards McGill. They love picking on the White Sox. Why not? Why wouldn't you? But like, I'm not saying don't play him, but I'm probably not going to play him on my main lineup. I don't think so. Of course, we have not made that just yet.
I think we're going to get more ownership on Hunter Brown. Maybe I'm wrong.
Really? Okay.
No, I'm seeing Hunter Brown's going to be lower owned. It makes
that's what I thought. Yeah.
The athletics team total, although very low, came up slightly. Yeah, I think it would be Rodon or McGill for me. Of the two like spends, if you consider McGill a spend at 8.8, not really. I don't know.
It's upper tier.
Horton's the one I'm going balls to the wall with. I'm gonna jam Horton.
Yeah.
Famous last words, but
he's just good enough, and the ballpark's great, and the opponent's spectacular, and that's that.
Pitching weather's good. He's got a pitcher's umpire. I know you look for extreme pitchers. He's got a good in terms of his strikeout prop. It's I think 5.5. Yeah. So I don't mind Horton. I think he's easily my favorite. Going to try to get to him where I can, and pick between McGill, Brown, and Rodon. And I think Brown is the one that's gonna. If I had to rank them, it's going to be Rodon, McGill, Brown.
You got Brown third. The Rodon thing, like, he's been awesome this year. He's been awesome of late as well. If you do the old game log deal. His worst start in his last 5 or 6 games, his 19.7 DK points. Talked about having Bill Miller behind the plate, and I don't obsess over the umpire stuff, but I want my pitcher to have Bill Miller to have behind the plate every single time if possible. If we can make that work, so I would certainly embrace that. As far as the Angels, Taylor Ward's been awesome, Neto's been awesome, but otherwise that team's not very good. And
I'll tell you someone who's going to hit a home run tonight for the Angels. I'll give you someone.
Is it one of those? Not those two guys. It's somebody else. It's not Neto or
not those two guys. Yeah, it's going to be the catcher,
Darno,
Travis Darno.
He's this is I know some of my inner Derek Hardy. I don't know if the sample's big enough, but this year, actually stretched back to last year. It's just 90 at bats versus lefties. It's got a 342 ISO and a 408 WOBA, which is
that's what I'm talking about, Dean. I give it work. When I give a play, I give the play.
Yeah,
I have to get into the whys.
They're also anticipating Chris Taylor to play tonight, but they just traded for. No, they didn't trade for him. They picked him off the waivers, right? I think he was DFA'd.
Trade a soda
machine. That's the Athletics, right? You famously do that. Wasn't that for Moneyball? I think it was from Moneyball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who looks at Chris Taylor's body of work the last somebody? This is the guy we want. This is the guy we want.
He's been bad for 2 years now.
Yeah,
2.5 years. So I hope they enjoy Chris Taylor.
At least what
comments. He's like, I could continue golfing because the Angels have been hitting the ball without Trout in the lineup.
They've been doing all right. They've been much better than anticipated. I was thinking Chris Taylor. I guess he doesn't have to move, right? He went from the Dodgers to the Angels. It's possible.
It's a good relocation spot, especially when you're older in your career. You might have kids. They're in school. know?
I don't know his situation, but I mean, just getting traded. I mean, I'm sure that just flips your life on its head, especially if you're moving cross country or something like that, like you said. That's just part of the game. That's part of the gig. Other pitchers that are of note that we should mention. Let's see. Is there anybody else? Does anybody throw anybody else out in chat? I'm trying to see if there's anybody we've ignored. Joe Ryan, great, good arsenal, tough ballpark. TJ's he wants to know about Richard Fitz. Richard Fitz, of course.
Stick Fitz.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, his parent. Who? How do you do this to your child? I've never named a thing before. I never named a person, but don't they know? Don't you pull your friends?
I think about this stuff a lot, and I'm in the process.
Drives me nuts.
Of trying to figure out a name for this this boy we're having coming up.
Yeah, but you're not. If your last name was Fitz, I know what you wouldn't name him.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
sure.
know. Even Richard, like you're just asking for your kid to be called Dick or like made fun of in school.
What are you
There was
doing?
this kid, we had this kid Richard, and he got it pretty good. Back when bullying was legal. Wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. Looking back,
So TJ, I think, was just asking as a joke, or was he actually being serious? I think TJ was just having fun with us. That was TJ's question.
TJ made it funny. It's interesting. TJ usually would refrain, I would say, from making.
He doesn't like comedy
jokes that kind of toe the line a little bit.
So TJ, he's feeling edgy today, apparently.
I won't report.
Dean, are you suggesting that I'm feeling edgy with my dick jokes?
I'm not suggesting. I thought you were actually going to give me a take because TJ's just producing today. He's actually not going to be chiming in as far as giving analysis later on. So if you got anything, TJ, well, I guess not. You just wanted to say that, which is fine. That's understandable.
I haven't actually looked at the slate. I think I'll probably build one single entry lineup, put a couple home run bets in as we go. So if the people want some Spidey bombs, we can get them to them if they're hitting the like button. But I'm just sort of taking a look at things right now.
Just got the Cubs, by the way. Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, PCA, Swanson, Bush, Horner, Shaw, McGuire's doing the catching. Trying to see if there's anything different as far as anticipated lineups. I don't think that. I think that was as is. No Brewers just yet, right? We did get the Blue Jays. Obviously, a lot of the West Coast stuff. No lineups. No Washington. No Marlins. No Padres. No Rodon. No Anderson. We kind of brushed over Corbin Burns. Did you have a Corbin Burns take? We got the Pirates lineup. Guess what? It's bad. After the first hitter, it gets really bad. I guess Reynolds.
I prefer Burns to Eovaldi. You're saving.
I agree with that.
I think I could throw Burns in my pool versus the Pirates. I mean, they're the Pirates, and I like the Diamondbacks to win this game. I know Marte's now out of the lineup, so
that's a bummer.
I think Burns is in line for the win. Interesting. Should we look at umpire data? I know you're a big umpire data guy, Dean.
There's not a lot of extremes. I like my extremes as far as umpire data.
I still lean a pitcher. I'll give a pitcher a boost, an extreme 2. I'll give an extreme double boost.
I think we had a couple extremes. We have 2 extreme pitchers umpires. That's for Lynch, Rodon, Singer in his revenge game, and Tyler Anderson. So it's Cincinnati, KC, and the Yankees and the Angels. If Rodon's not going to be that owned, by the way, I want to go back to that. He's like 5th or 6th, right?
I do worry about this Angels lineup versus Rodon. I know he is Bill Miller. I know the K prop's great at 7.5 minus 110.
Look at the rest of the lineup.
Those have been good, man.
It's 3 guys, I guess, sort of. And even Soler will strike out. He's got some power, but he'll strike out plenty too. But Neto's been awesome. He's mashed lefties dating back to last season.
Rodon is probably my favorite. Rodon's my favorite. He's my favorite of Hunter Brown and McGill and the other. I feel like those are the 2 pitches the three pitchers you're pitching with Horton. Rodon is my favorite. Yeah.
I am a little cautious. You kind of talked about it. You kind of made a joke about it. You said what's the worst going to happen if you're going to be all in on the Cade Horton? I know you're a big team total guy, and obviously Colorado's got a 2.53 team total. The ballpark's great, but we're not sure Cade Horton's good. I can't say that with
prospect, right? He was a prospect for a little bit.
I don't know how big of a prospect he was, to be honest.
This is a minor league.
We use that term loosely sometimes, where not all prospects
I think
are the
fine.
same.
I know Tovar's back in the lineup. Toglia has good numbers versus what Horton's going to throw, but are you really afraid of the Rockies, Dean?
No. So he was a bigger prospect than I thought he was. He was a 3rd-ranked prospect according to Fangraphs in the organization.
See, Dean, I'm there. I know what I'm talking about. He was a prospect.
He is the 35th ranked prospect in baseball.
35th? Where is that the updated list? Where do you see that at? Is that MLB?
Let's see. I just pulled it up.
There's
on
different
Google.
lists. I'm not questioning it. I'm just I see. You get different stuff.
MLB.com.
I'm questioning your list, Dean. I'm questioning your
MLB.com. He's the 35th ranked prospect.
Okay, bigger prospect than I thought he was. My bad. I didn't realize he was. I thought he was like hovering around top 100 or so, but he's higher than that. He hasn't been great so far in his cup of coffee, but again, it's the Rockies. And I just these other established names I feel better about, but it's the Rockies. It's that ballpark. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Maybe Burns is better
cheap.
than what we're like. I don't know. Yeah.
Burns, or you said you like Rodon the most, so you got Rodon ahead of Burns. I like them both, and that's why I see Don Yeezy asking about Kolek. I'm not worrying about those guys. I think the pool's big enough to pick from. I'm just taking the guys I like, 6 or 7, depending on. So I'm not really worrying about Kolek. Is that somebody you're considering?
Kolek?
Yeah.
I guess he has a good matchup versus Miami. I do like San Diego. He's probably in line for the win. He's 8,400.
Seems kind of expensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I prefer Bradley to Kolek. If I'm gonna go low, I'm not gonna Horton's gonna be my guy in the 8Ks at exactly 8K, and then it would be like Bradley rather than paying up 400 more for Kolek.
TJ is setting a poll up, letting the people speak as far as today's Spidey Bombs. Feel free to join that poll, give your answer, and also hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. As well, get in the Discord. I'm behind on this. Television Tuesday. Tell me what TV show I'm talking about. The first clue, of course, is tail. The second clue is object. One guess per clue drop. No spam in the chat there in the Discord. Free Discord, by the way. Just need a regular RG account. You do not need a paid account. Just tell me what television show I'm talking about. We'll drop another clue in about 10 minutes or so. So we have tail and object. That is our first 2 clues. Anything else you want to say here as far as pitchers, Bobby, as we yield into talking about stacks, talking about.
Do you have any thoughts on Logan Evans?
I just think it's amazing that 60% of the Mariners starting pitchers are named Logan. Well, I guess he wouldn't be there if the other Logans were healthy. Let's see. I just think he's unnecessary.
Okay. No,
that's I'm not really attacking him, but I don't think he's necessary. Is sort of my official take. The K's have not been good. Less than 18% so far in the season. 7.6% swinging strikes. I'm not impressed, but I don't know if I hate that ballpark. As far as hitting, it's a big downgrade. Washington, pretty solid hitters ballpark. It's a pretty big downgrade. So I don't know if I'm attacking him in the few lineups I make, but I'm not rostering him. Is that where you're at?
That's a good answer. No, I like it. I just didn't know what to do with him. I'm not playing him. There's no reason to.
It just doesn't seem necessary to me. Yeah. All right.
Jorge Soler is out, by the way.
Soler's not playing baseball tonight?
Soler's not playing, so I think that's a bump to Rodon.
So Chris Taylor's in there. Adele's in there. You want Adele in there because he strikes out a ton. Lugo? Do I know who Lugo is? Is that Seth Lugo?
No, he's been on the Lugo's not new, Dean.
Why do I not know who Lugo is off the top of my head? Okay, Matthew Lugo. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just drawing somebody said in chat, AJ said in chat, Dean, you've lost your marbles. And maybe I have because I temporarily just kind of forgot who Lugo was. So you're on to something, AJ. But I certainly haven't rostered Lugo all season long. But okay. Soler.
I've rostered him and I rostered him regrettably.
Yeah, and Chris Taylor being in there, his first crack at it for the Angels. I do think that's a little bit of a bump to Rodon as far as subduing homers, at least. Soler obviously would strike out as well. Okay. Anything else as far as pitchers you want to say before we segue along and talk about our hitters, our stacks?
That's it. We can segue, Dean. You're a big segue guy. You probably have.
I am a big Well, wait. You just want the riding the Segway? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I could see you being a tourist and taking a Segway tour. Have you seen?
Why do you have to be at
They're big in Boston.
They were
come
huge
by
in Nashville.
My building, the front of my building, a lot.
You hate them, don't you?
Yeah, I don't. We have bike lanes. Probably the worst idea in America. It's a good way to just get crushed, leaving your house hungover.
They're anti-bikers.
I'm anti-biker. Motorcycles, I cannot stand motorcycles.
All right, fair enough. But the motorcyclists aren't in the bike lane though. They're on the regular lanes.
They're in the regular lanes, but they're just. I just don't like bikers. I guess I don't know.
Fair enough.
No Hell's Angels people come after me. I'm just saying, I'm not a fan.
It's nothing personal, is what you're saying.
Nothing personal, yeah.
All right.
They're just too loud. They're too loud.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for me, but if somebody else likes it, whatever, have at it. Enjoy yourself. Okay. No Yankees, no Marlins, no Padres, no Nats. We got everything else. Spidey Bomb number 1, by the way, based upon the poll, I guess we have Brett Beatty. It was going to be potentially Juan Soto, but the people voted for Brett Beatty, and it's jumped from plus 650 to plus 750, so that's a pretty solid number. Oh, wait a second. Are they both Spidey Bombs? Did I not see that Brett Beatty? Do we have 2 Spidey Bombs? Feel free to clarify, TJ. Did I read something incorrectly? Because the way I'm seeing it. Oh, did you accidentally put Soto up on the screen?
Soto's Spidey Bomb number 1. Brett Beatty is the bonus Spidey Bomb.
So why do we even have the poll?
I don't know, for fun. Well, because I wanted the poll, and then I was, based on the poll and my thoughts, I was selecting Juan Soto. But then I saw Brett Beatty was not, in fact, 650. He was plus 750. And I was like, well, damn, that's just too good. And so
I don't like Dean poo-pooing TJ. I don't like Dean poo-pooing TJ.
Well, I respect the poll. And, now it's just the poll just lost all relevance. The poll said Brett Beatty's the Spidey Bomb. And I thought this was on the up and up, that this tells me that Spidey has nothing to do with this. It's a whole charade.
We've been over this 100 times, Dean. He gives me a list of who is going to hit a home run. I take said list. I look at scores and odds, and I find the ones with the best odds, and then I choose select Spidey Bombs. If he tells me
show me the list.
Hit a home run,
can you show me the
Aaron
list?
Judge is plus 130.
So there's no bias going into it on your part, TJ, is what you're saying.
If TJ can produce that list in 20 seconds, we'll give him all the loonies and toonies. I don't believe this list exists, is what I'm saying. I think it's a cover-up.
I'm with you. I'm kind of.
There's a secret chat that has access to it, Dean. You're just not part of the secret chat. Kirkwood knows. Kirkwood's seen it.
There's no way you would be in Kirkwood's secret chat. I don't believe it for a second.
That's correct.
I'm in the. I get access to the dew point beta, so I gave him access to the list.
Well, scratch your back. I got nothing to offer is the problem. That's why I'm not allowed anybody's secrets Discord.
Yeah, Dean is very negative. Someone said it in chat.
I think I'm just I'm just a truth teller. Anyways, let's talk about today's tiers. Today's tier category.
Kolek is in play.
Yeah, I mean it's the Marlins.
The Marlins, their team total went down. What's Kolek's prop?
He's not great. I'm not really sold on what he's done so far.
4.5 Ks plus 110. Ugh. Hitter's umpire.
Maybe you get 5. Maybe you get 5. Today's tiers, worst place. We've all been there. We don't need.
I got sick, Dean. I wasn't doing number 2 in the bathroom.
This is an homage. You just inspired. I wasn't saying. I wasn't outing you.
You're making this more than what it was.
No. I was just saying what the tiers are. I wasn't outing you. I didn't even say this is what happened yesterday. If you missed it, I hope you all had a good Memorial Day. But it's just an homage. It was an inspiration. You inspired today's tiers. Worst place to be when you have to go to the bathroom. Just what's the worst place to be like? Oh man, we got 2 minutes.
He's making like I Paul Pierced it. Like that isn't.
No, I wasn't even referencing you. You brought it up.
No, we had this conversation. You
off air, not on air.
My stomach.
Yeah. We circled back and I made sure you were okay. I just want to make sure you remember.
Yesterday. Today you did. I didn't get a text from you yesterday. Oh yeah, I did.
Yes. I made sure. I'm like, you just want to check in. You're doing all right. Yeah, I was nice about it. In any event, let me know in the chat. What is the worst place to be stuck at? Oh, traffic's a good answer. I didn't. New Year's in New York City is a good answer too, because they don't allow you to, like, once you're locked in those gates, that seems like the most miserable experience. They lock you in at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and apparently you can't go to the bathroom. Like, there's no in and no out.
Where's this?
The New York City ball drop. You know, on New Year's.
Oh,
You've seen it on television before.
yeah.
Trace's job interview. It's a good answer too. Yes. Yeah. So
Someone said first date back at her house. Yeah.
yeah. So and
It's
others
actually happened to
receiving
me.
votes.
It's actually happened to me. You miss out on the sex. But it is what it is.
First date. Others
First
receiving.
date, but, yeah.
Others receiving votes was like a date. On a live podcast may have inspired, may or may not have inspired this whole thing, but Bobby sort of thinks it is. It's about him. But yeah, I did consider prison. That was on the board. Did not actually make the board. Jury duty is a good answer too. Yeah, these are all good answers.
Prison's bad if you have like a cellie that's not isn't really friendly, right? Really good guy.
I would
Not that I've been
imagine
to prison, I'm just saying. I could just think, yeah.
So that's what our board is. Worst places to be when you have to use the bathroom. And let's go ahead and reveal the board. A lot of good answers. A lot of good answers suggested here by the chat. Club, bar, a rest stop, a boat. These are all considered, but not officially on the board. Gas station. Yeah, that's a good one too. They still have the massive key at the gas station. That's still a thing. They think you're going to steal something. Yeah. So number one, Bobby, on a plane.
That works. On a plane's, dude, I have a bad story on a plane once flying back.
I know how this goes.
Flying back from Italy. Oh my God. I ate like prosciutto in the airport.
Oh, that's a rookie mistake.
Like,
that's on you. You don't eat prosciutto
back
before you're about to fly for 10 hours. That's your fault.
Yeah, it was not good.
It's amateur hour. Like an outdoor music festival. You ever see like day 3 with outdoor musical festival, those porta potties? It's a rough scene.
I'd like to go to an outdoor music festival, but I think I'm too old now.
Yeah, I've been, but yeah, I'm kind of with you.
You've been? Where'd you go? Coachella?
No, I mean I was at I was really young, but I was at Woodstock in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I mean I've done like Warped Tour, like something like that. You're aware of Warped Tour? I don't know if it still exists. I don't know.
There's this bar that we go to in the Cape in Hyannis, and when we go down, we usually go down during a week in the summer. In the bathroom doesn't have a door.
Yeah.
Stall.
We could have put that in the board. Lollapalooza, these are things I've been to. But yeah.
Oh my God.
TJ?
Can I share a quick story?
Sure.
Based on Bootleg Head Chopper saying he went to Juggalo Fest?
I don't believe him, but go ahead.
So quick. No, that was his comment. He went to
DJ went to like a Marvel musical fest.
I don't believe he went to it. I think he's just making a reference.
You went to it.
Go ahead.
Not that he went to it. He was saying you went to it.
Oh, I got you. No, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
No, but I have a co-host of mine at Agents of Fandom. We did.
What is Agents of Fandom? We've done this show for 3 years. I've never heard of Agents of Fandom. What is it?
Just you have the Google?
Should I watch it? Is it good? I don't know.
It's a website.
It's a website. You can watch the YouTube videos if you want. If we're covering,
I'm going right now to Agents of Fandom.
You gotta get Bobby a guest spot on there.
We were covering The Last of Us together, and we had to reschedule an episode of the show because his other podcast called Metalcore Nerds, where he just talks about various like heavy metal music and not just that, but different types of music as well. And it's grown quite a bit. And so he got asked to cover, like take photos of and write a little article for his website of a concert that was running through town. And so he ended up covering the Insane Clown Posse concert. And so it was him and about 2,000 of the 2,000 juggalos at this concert all night.
Violent J, Shaggy Two Dope.
Kirkwood might have been there.
No, he was.
No, definitely not. Kirkwood. If there's anyone that hates fun, it's Kirkwood. Hates fun, not a fun guy.
You say that, but I got this picture sent to me, and I mean, oh wow, there he was at the concert. Night.
Yeah, technology is wild these days, TJ.
I went to a concert with Kirkwood. It was Shaq DJing.
What? That's like okay. What's his DJ name? Does he have a DJ name?
I think he's Kazam. I have no idea.
No. Oh man, the Pushnikins is who he was. He had a rap album with many years ago. But all right, Auto Live podcast is right there in the middle. Not the worst, because you can get out of it. You're probably you're possibly in the studio, maybe you're at home. But Diesel, the chat saying, then that makes sense. That checks out.
DJ Diesel, yeah, DJ Diesel.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So Auto Play in category 1, Outdoor Musical Festival is number 2. Auto Live podcast is in the 3rd spot. You just got that, Bobby.
I know. I didn't just get it, Dean. I heard it, and I thought it was it wasn't a great joke.
It wasn't intended to be. It just sort of happened in my head. I'm like, oh, that was phrasing. Your significant other's place is in the 4 spot.
I think that should be 1. To be honest,
it could be. Well, it depends how close you are.
But not like my current. If you're just like starting to date someone and it happens,
yeah, it's different. That's different.
That's the qualifier. Like, yeah.
And at home, of course, home bowl advantage. That's in the one. That's the 1 spot I think people would feel best at. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's throw some teams in some tiers. The first game we're going to be talking about on the slate. It is, I think it's Minnesota, Tampa, 8.5 is the total. Taj Bradley taking on Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan, good pitcher. Taj Bradley, sometimes good. We think he's better than his numbers suggest, maybe. Minnesota, again, without Royce Lewis. They're also without Buxton. So it's not the best version of the Twins today, but it is hot. And this ballpark is, positive for hitting. Where do you have the Twins and the Rays?
I like both of these teams better than I'm going to grade them. But on a live podcast for me, for both the Twins and the Rays, because of the hitting weather, guys that stand out for me for the Rays, Brandon Lowe, Josh Lowe, Jonathan Aranda, who's quietly becoming one of my favorite players in the league. Junior Caminero works, third base. And then for the Twins, Trevor Larnach, I think, is fine. Royce Lewis. Cody Clemens might be my favorite bat in this lineup at 3,500. Yeah, that's the Twinkies that I like, Dean. And that's the Rays Twins breakdown.
All right, you got them both in the live podcast category. Looks like Roth did update his weather article. I don't know if there's anything that changed significantly.
Is there anything bad that we have to worry about? Because I don't
think so. It's yellow-green in Tampa. I think that's the only thing he flipped. And I'm sure he'll talk about how Tampa's St. Pete. It's just, you're always going to get those pop-ups. That's just the way it is in Tampa. And it's hard to sort of predict when they come sometimes. But, that Roth will maybe touch on that. But I think that's the only thing that's changed. Yellow, green. Everything else is green, yellow, or straight green. It's still, expected to be some strong wins in Chicago for the Cubs. And Weather Edge is still down. So hopefully somebody is working on that. It'll be up soon enough. All right. Let's talk about
So Ruthless Villain in chat. I went after a girl on a plane once, found her nugs on the edge of a seat. Disgusting. How do you know they were hers, for one? And then, how do you miss the seat? I've never got that. You ever go to a mall and it's just use a mall bathroom? It's just on the floor.
I mean, you see some things. Yeah. The problem is you're responsible for everything that's happened before you. It's on you. If you're walking out and somebody sees you, they assume that's all yours. And it's like,
if I seen you leaving a stall and walked in and seen a big, on the floor, I'd be like, yeah, 100%. That was the guy with the glasses and the red sweatshirt.
Somehow it's your responsibility. All right. Let's talk about the next game. Next game is the White Sox taking on the Mets. 8 total collectively. Most of those runs going New York's way, over 5 as far as the team total. We do have Vientos back in the lineup today. Beatty, I know, was a Spidey bomb. The White Sox, a team total less than 3. Tyler McGill, one of the more popular pitchers, taking the board. Also, just a heads up, the third clue is scrolling right now. TJ dropped that for the people as far as Television Tuesday. It is Apple. Apple is the third clue. So it's tail, object, and apple. I've not jumped over to the Discord just yet. So has anybody got this? We'll see. You tell me. How do you like the White Sox and the Mets?
Yeah, the White Sox, zero interest in playing the White Sox. put them in at home. I don't even know who to play on the White Sox. I really didn't break them down too much. And the Mets, I love the Mets.
I did a deep dive on them, Bobby. I did a deep dive on the White Sox. They stink.
Yeah, they stink. Lindor, Alonso, Soto, Vientos, Beatty. I think these guys are all good. Their team total did go down. The wind is blowing out slightly. I'm going to go outdoor music festival with the Mets. I'm going to be really strict on who I put in on a plane. But, yeah, the Mets are a very good stack tonight.
Yeah, they were saying in chat, like, it should be flipped. This is not the best place. It's the worst place to be caught as far as having to go to the bathroom. That's why on a plane is in the 1 hole and at home is in the 5 hole. All right. Moving along, more games to go. That's 3 down. Let's talk about the Cubbies. No, let's not talk about the Cubbies. I skipped a couple. It's the Reds, the Royals. 8 is a total. Daniel Lynch, we said he's starting, probably throwing about 50 baseballs or so. Brady Singer is throwing against his old team here in Kansas City. Reds, Royals, 2 of the best shortstops in baseball. Not much else here to get excited about. You got a pretty cheap Vinny P and a pretty cheap Sal Perez, I'll say that. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't love this game. I like some of the individual pieces, but collectively not so much. What say you?
Yeah, I think both of these teams can go in your significant other's place, which should be number 1. But they are both not teams that I'm targeting. You can target Vinny P and Bobby Witt. Stevenson looks good for Cincinnati, but there's nothing I love that really stands out. I don't think Ellie's a good play today. Yeah. So Reds and Royals in at your significant other's place. I don't understand that has to be higher. That has to be higher.
What's that?
The significant other's place.
Again, if it's like your wife of 30 years or
no, yeah, that's not an issue. Like
yeah, so it's different. It depends how you define it. If it's somebody you've been with like a month, okay, yeah, then I hear you. I gotcha. I was looking for spots, and I wanted to put the live podcast in the middle, but you're not wrong to say that if you want to move up to the top, I'm not going to say you're wrong necessarily. Richard Fitz taking on Aaron. You know who he is. Taking on Aaron Savale. No lineup just yet for Milwaukee, 8.5 total. Sort of a coin toss. Vegas throwing up their arms. So team total both sides here is 4.25. Your Boston Red Sox taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Thoughts?
Yeah, my Boston Red Sox, Willer Abreu, Devers, Duran, I like. I'm going to put Red Sox in on a live podcast. That's where they're going. I don't think they're going to go any higher. They haven't been hitting the ball well. Like, I don't know where Narvaez is batting. Narvaez has actually been hot. I didn't realize.
He's batting third again.
He's batting third again. He's been hot. The rest of this team, not hot.
Trevor Story's been horrendous.
What?
Horrendous. Trevor Story?
Oh yeah, he shouldn't be on a major league roster currently.
It's bad.
Yeah, the Red Sox are fine there, and then Milwaukee I'll throw there as well. Churio would probably stand out. Rhys Hoskins has been red hot. I don't love this game as much as probably everyone else does. Or I know TJ was looking to put on the outdoor music festival. I don't really have a ton of interest. I will say, is the roof open? What's the situation there? Is the roof open
in Milwaukee?
Closed.
I don't know. I did not check.
No, it's closed. I just checked.
Okay. I did check Arizona. I think that's supposed to be closed. And I checked Texas. And I think that's supposed to be closed as well. Fairly certain all those are closed today. But I will double check to confirm. Let's talk about Colorado. Colorado and the Cubbies, 7.5 total. Chicago, almost a 5-team total, despite facing German Marquez and having an awesome offense. Again, we've said it several times, the weather is not conducive for home runs today. Marquez is conducive to serving them up. It's just, it's just tough to hit them out in Chicago when the wind is blowing in. Where do you see the Rockies and the Cubbies as far as our board?
Rockies at home, not playing any Rockies. Like
on
if
the
you want to play Rockies.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying the Rockies were at home. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Like Toglia is fine, I guess. But it's just don't want to play Rockies at all. And the Cubbies are outdoor music festival for me. They're the outdoor music festival. The wind blowing in isn't great, else they'd be in the top spot. Tucker, Suzuki, PCA. all the guys from the Cubs that hit the ball. Michael Bush. Yeah. Those guys all look pretty good.
Taking a peek at the Discord, I want to see if anybody's hit today's Television Tuesday. Has not happened just yet. Some people are still guessing movies. It is a television show. It's not My Little Pony or Shameless or Silo, which is pretty good, by the way, on the Apple. Community. Sonic the Hedgehog is a TV show? Is it? Don't know. But I can see why you're guessing.
6 Sonic the Hedgehog TV shows.
There's like 6 Sonic TV shows?
Yeah, there's been lots over the years.
Is that why you use Tail? People are Tails as a sidekick? Is that why we're guessing Sonic? That makes sense.
I always like Knuckles, and then the movie like ruined Knuckles for me.
The movie ruined Knuckles.
Stupid voice.
I haven't. Supposedly the movies actually aren't terrible. Like supposedly like the Jim Carrey's movies aren't terrible.
I don't think they're great. Like I don't know who told you they're not terrible. They're not fantastic. I mean, my kid watched them.
They're for kids, Bobby. They're for kids.
You're not the target audience.
Yeah, but kids movies today are terrible. Like I'm more for
because you're not a kid. That's the reason.
We watch all '90s kids movies in my house.
Maybe. Oh, I don't know. There are some good. What was the one? That robot movie? It was pretty good. I think TJ saw it as well in our podcast. We talked about it.
Wild Robot.
What was it? What was it called?
The Wild Robot.
Wild
Robot.
Robot.
That was good though. Is like, do they
It's just a good story. It's well done. I wouldn't say it's like funny necessarily, but it's a good kids movie.
I like Home Alone, where they like say stuff that adults find funny as well. Specifically, the line when Kevin goes, "I can't go to the bathroom because Uncle Frank said I'll never grow up knowing, viewing myself as a real man," or something like that. Like I was watching that the other night. I'm like, they would never say that on the movie today.
Bathroom is a theme of this show, apparently. Yeah. The theme of the episode. Let's drop the 4th clue. Let's give people clue number 4 today for Television Tuesday. This should change things. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Tail, object, apple, and hump. Hump is the 4th clue. All right. It is not Futurama.
What game are we playing? Television Tuesday?
Yes. Bobby, if you know the answer, just tell me in the private chat.
Definitely don't know the answer.
Do not
care. No.
Why even ask if you don't care? Why even ask a question?
I don't care.
TJ's Blue Jays are taking on the Rangers, 8 total. Eovaldi versus Bowden Francis. We've kind of talked about Bowden Francis and his home run issues. Again, nobody in baseball that has thrown more than 50 innings this season has given up more homers per 9. And it's not even close. Only 2 guys have given up 2+, and he's going up like 2.5 or 2.6. That is a lot. More so versus lefties, and kind of the problem is Texas doesn't have a lot of lefty power. He'll still give them up to righties. You got the cheap Osuna in there. No Seager, as we said. He'll probably be coming back tomorrow. Is the expectations. Where do you have Texas and Toronto?
This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go Rangers on a live podcast in Toronto. I'm going to put in your significant other's place.
All right. That was, I'm sorry, which team was that? Toronto, your significant others. Okay. That's tier number 4.
On a live podcast. Yeah.
You don't have to do this, Bobby. This is your board, but just we have no teams just yet on a plane.
I know. I'm being very
particular. Selective. You don't have to. You could put 0. You could put theoretically 20 teams at home. I don't know what that would do.
That's like the battle of suck. Bowden Francis versus the Rangers. Like I don't know.
Okay, we have looks like 5 more games to go. Crunch time coming in about 15, 20 minutes or so. Kristi's coming on as well as Dave Potts. Cheese is good. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth holding things down as well. Giving a refresh. Says Weather Edge. Is it working for anybody right now? Oh, Weather Edge is working. Sweet. Okay.
How many lineups do we have currently?
How many lineups? What do you mean?
Like, have we got any more lineups?
Oh, we're still waiting for the Marlins, the Padres, Washington, the Yankees, and Milwaukee. I don't think we've got any.
Have you noticed like these lineups aren't coming out as fast? Or maybe it's just like we're getting a lot of afternoon slates and I have to wait. And then
we had it was like Rush. Sometimes it's due to injuries. I think Rushman was kind of like Baltimore was held back a little bit. Sometimes they're working somebody out before the game, that kind of thing. But I mean, it's night and day compared to other sports. So I hear you. And it's also not that hard to to swap guys in and out.
It's
not like a
harder
big
to
domino
swap
effect.
guys in and out right now.
Is it? Than other sports, there's a domino effect. If one player's out in a basketball team, that changes the lives of like four other guys.
Salary side more. I don't know. Yeah.
But and there's also some later games. So the Yankees and the Angels don't play for 3.5 hours. The Marlins and the Padres are on the West Coast as well. Mariners hooked us up, but no Washington lineup just yet. Okay, moving on. Oh, it's the Athletics taking on the Houston Astros. JP Sears, Hunter Brown. JP Sears will not have the platoon advantage in any bats because we know about the Astros being fully right-handed. Yeah, so 9 righties taking on JP Sears today. Hunter Brown, kind of reverse splitsy. I think Rooker is an interesting tournament play. I like Hunter Brown a good bit, but Rooker with those Crawford boxes and Hunter Brown being kind of neutral to reverse splitsy, do like him a little bit. Somebody else got hurt. Oh, Kurtz, the rookie, is not playing for the Athletics. He's not in the lineup today. He went on the IL. So once he started hitting some homers, the big prospect now is injured. So their lineup looks a little bit different. CJ Alexander is batting 7th. Urias, Denzel Clark was called up. JJ Bleday was also sent down to the minors. Astros, Athletics, what do you got?
Yeah, Athletics, I'm going to put in not your parents' whatever. I mean, not your significant other's place. Not your significant other's parents' place. That's one that you kind of want to stay away from. And then Houston's going to be outdoor music festival for Houston bats. Paredes, Walker, Altuve. I will say, like, this Houston lineup's terrible. Like, yeah, they'll be good versus the lefty. You have Altuve in there and stuff, but like, do you really feel comfortable all the time stacking a Houston 5 man? Like, I don't. Cam Smith looks all right. That's like terrible. I'm not going to love it if I have a ton of Houston 5 stacks tonight, but they are a good stack in terms of the context of the slate. So you're on mute, Dean.
Do you want to stretch the numbers back to last year or just this year? Because if you stretch it back to last year, they look pretty good. This year, they're horrendous. However, they haven't faced lefties. Altuve's got 21 at-bats versus lefties this year. Paredes, 22. Like, they're 20 at-bats or so. For whatever reason, they faced a pile of righties. And that's in part, I guess, why they've not been good, the Astros, as far as hitting.
Well, would you throw a lefty versus them if you could avoid it?
If I could avoid it, yes. But, like, my rotation is my rotation, right? It's like I'm not just all of a sudden going to – I'm going to sit Chris Sale because I'm facing the Astros. Like, it's just weird. They haven't
have against lefties.
The Astros? Well, they had to pay Kyle Tucker. They didn't want to do that
with analytics today, and you're not incorporating lefties into your lineup. It doesn't make any sense.
It is strange. I mean, I think they were
literally
just
the Red Sox are moving around their whole order to get Navarez in the 3-hole because it splits up the lefty, righty. Yeah,
you gotta get Navarez in there.
He's been good. I said he was bad. He's been good. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, and Mayer the rookie is another lefty as well. I'm not sure what Anthony is. I feel like he's a righty, but I don't know.
Lefty. Anthony's a lefty.
Is he a lefty?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna have Devers, Mayer.
Devers is gone. I think there's no way.
They just signed a long-term deal with him. You can't just like push a button. He's gone. Didn't he just sign a big contract?
He signed a big contract, but like, I don't know. It doesn't. Boston media is kind of on him pretty hard.
Yeah, he signed 10 years, $313 million. So yeah, and he refuses he's not happy with his defensive position or lack thereof.
But I get it from his perspective because he signed it thinking he was playing third base.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, he's upset. He's not allowed to work more. It's like you can just chill in the dugout. You don't have to worry about that. Just swing 4 times a day.
I'm on his side though. I'd be pretty pissed, to be honest.
How about just play better defense? Is he considered that? Be a better defender?
He plays horrible defense, but sometimes he plays very good defense. So I don't know. Play first, dude. It's the same thing. Play first. You get that.
He doesn't want to. He's refusing to move to first.
Out of lineup, TJ's favorite player. I couldn't stand Casas. Oh my god, just get him off the tee. He got hurt.
He's out for the year. I don't think so officially, but yeah.
My favorite player.
You used to like Casas. You used to like Casas.
Big Casas guy.
It's news to me.
I don't know that either. I'm just playing along. Yankees are taking
I
on
can
the
definitely
Angels.
find a clip on one of these shows where TJ said he liked Casas a good bit.
Well, I'm sure at some point he was a Spidey bomb and Spidey liked him, but like that doesn't necessarily mean
in the
that's his
content,
guy.
he liked Cassis. He liked Cassis.
Rodon's playing Tyler Anderson. Yankees have a 5 total. They're locked in for 9 here against Tyler Anderson, who could be kind of reverse splitsy. Curious if how the Yankees handle that as far as their lineup with their lefties. No lineup just yet. But yeah, New York Angels. Are we going to have somebody on a plane? Are we not? Here's the suspense. You tell me, Bobby. Where are we putting the Yankees?
I'm throwing the Yankees on a plane.
Oh,
they're on the Yankees on a plane. That ballpark gives up homers to lefties. I know Tyler Anderson is a lefty, but I don't care really. Like the Angels, how's their bullpen? Like I don't think their bullpen's great. Yeah, Yankees. I love Judge Goldschmidt versus a lefty. They're going to stand out significantly. So yeah, Yankees, and then the Angels. Like we talked about, Neto, Travis d'Arnaud. Like I think you could put these guys in your significant other's place. I do like some one-offs.
The Angels have had the worst bullpen this year as far as ERA. Now it's like 6 and change as far as active roster. It's 5.79, but as far as Sierra, it's 3.81. So like the numbers say like
what this means.
Well, a 5.7 ERA is horrendous. That's terrible.
No, I know the ERA. The Sierra always gets me. And
a Sierra is like a more accurate sort of like it's this is what it's supposed to. If life was fair,
that's what I'm doing with you, not
This is as opposed to what? So their bullpen's been bad, but I don't think it's as terrible as they've been, and they've also gotten rid of some of the worst of their arms. But for sure, do not like move
maybe
away
they
from
should
the Yankees.
have kept Shohei Ohtani.
I don't think that was up to them. Not trading away Shohei Ohtani.
Maybe putting people around
thing.
Ohtani and Trout.
They've actually been pretty good considering. I'll give them their props. But imagine if they got Imagine if they actually had some prospects for Shohei Ohtani when they had like a 0.3% chance to make the playoffs. According
Trade
to
Ohtani at the deadline. It was how do you not do that? That has to be one of the biggest blunders in the history of sports.
It's a blunder for sure. I mean, Nico might have something to say about biggest blunders in Dallas.
What do you mean? Nico's was fantastic. He made a deal with the commissioner to get the number 1 pick for Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That is exactly what happened. You can't tell me otherwise.
I know I can't tell you otherwise.
Okay.
I mean, there's no way to prove a negative.
Sometimes things are like too deep to be a that has to be true. Like there's no.
Except Dallas almost made the playoffs, and when would that deal have been met? Because Dallas was like a game away from actually making the playoffs, and not having any ping pong balls at all. So what would have happened then? The deal would have been off.
They were losing that game, Dean. That game.
Of course. The conspiracy gets bigger. More and more people are in on it. Corbin Burns is throwing baseballs against the Pirates. The Pirates are terrible outside of O'Neal Cruz. No Ketel Marte for Arizona, which is kind of a bummer. You're getting a super cheap Jordan Lawler. He hasn't quite done it just yet, but the pedigree says
he's another guy like Kurtz that you've been like on for weeks, and he stinks.
Yeah, but Hurts got there. What are you talking about?
He got there 1 day, 2 days. Kurtz.
He had multiple days. He's gonna be fine, and Lawler probably gonna be fine too. Maybe not today, but he is in the 9-hole. He is also a pinch hit threat sometimes, depending on. But he is crazy cheap. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, Pirates, D-backs. What do you got?
Yeah, D-backs. We're gonna throw them in on a plane. I liked Marte. Unfortunate he's not in the lineup. Corbin Carroll. Gino, my man, Gino Suarez. I think he's
your man?
Yeah. I'm a fan. Yep. When he's hot, Dean, he's hot. He's been hot to start the year. He might have cooled off a little bit, but whatever. Pavin Smith's in there. He just talk about someone I don't like to play.
What's wrong with Pavin Smith?
He gets pinch hit for.
That is annoying. It happens sometimes. It does happen.
Whatever his price is. Josh Naylor hit a bomb last night. Well, like Arizona, Pittsburgh side, maybe bump Corbin Burns a little bit. Like the Pittsburgh Pirates are horrendous, and yeah, there's no one really standing out from, like, you always play O'Neal Cruz.
Sure.
But yeah.
I don't know if you saw it.
The Pirates would probably be at home.
Pirates, O'Neal Cruz hit 122.9 miles per hour homer the other night out of the stadium. Rocket. Out of Pittsburgh into the Allegheny. Is that the Allegheny? Ohio?
Yeah.
Which river is that? There's
only 6 players in the major leagues currently that have hit balls harder than Roman Anthony, who's in the minor leagues.
Well, Cruz was one of them, and he's done it multiple times.
Cruz, Naylor, Shohei, I think, was one.
Judge?
Probably Judge. Yeah.
Stanton? Maybe Stanton.
No, this year. This
year.
Season. Yeah. So it couldn't
Wasn't
be
Stanton.
Yeah.
He's rehabbing soon, they're saying. We'll
I like Nate's call in chat. Burns SP1. I am moving Burns up my board.
I like him too. Marlins, Padres. We did get the Padres lineup. No Marlins lineup just yet. Kolak taking on Max Meyer. I think Meyer's pretty good, but they don't strike out a ton. And obviously up top, Tatis, a rise in all his revenge. He's definitely not going to strike out when he's vengeful. Gavin Sheets has been good this year, kind of surprisingly. I think he has. I'm not. I don't want to, say he's great, but now I got to pull up his stuff.
Not when I 5-stacked them.
He's got 10 home runs this year.
How many? Yeah,
I think he had a couple. He's been hot of late.
I stacked him probably on a lot of the days where he struck out 4 times.
He's got 4 home runs in his last 5 games. If you care about who's hot and who's not, that kind of thing.
Okay.
TJ's telling us
that doesn't matter.
We got another Spidey Bomb coming in. 11 more likes. 11 more likes. We get another Spidey Bomb. We did get a winner, by the way, for Television Tuesday. But if you're playing along just for funsies, clue number 5 is calendar. So tail, object, apple, hump, calendar. We mentioned earlier the Warp Tour. And, of course, you mentioned the Warp Tour. Blink-182 wins today's Television Tuesday. We'll explain those clues in a second. Let's knock out these last couple games. Marlins, Padres. Where do you have them on the board?
Marlins are probably going to be at home because they suck.
Yeah.
And then we'll go Padres. I like the Padres. All right, outdoor music festival for the Padres. I like Tatis. Really like Merrill. Cronenworth will probably be right there for me as well. Machado. You like Sheets, so yeah, that's fine. 5-man. Put them in outdoor music festival.
See, this is like you said. TJ loves Casas. I said one nice thing about Gavin Sheets, and all of a sudden he's my guy. This is how it happens. I was just saying he's been hot of late. 10 homers, like 4 in his last 5 games. Washington taking on Seattle. Logan Evans, Mitchell Parker. Where do we have the Mariners and the Nationals? We did get the Nationals lineup, by the way. Abrams, Wood, Lau, Ruiz, Garcia, Bell, Hassel, Tana, and Lyle. Dalen Lyle.
Where were the Padres, sorry?
Where are the Padres, Bobby?
Put them in outdoor music festival.
Last game here, Bobby. Washington and the Mariners.
Oh, we can do some evening out. Let's do the Mariners.
You don't have to.
Let's do the Mariners in outdoor music festival. Cal Raleigh, Dylan Moore. They're probably my 2 favorite Mariners bats.
Big
we can do on a live podcast for where the Mariners playing again?
Washington,
yeah. Wood, CJ Abrams are the only 2 bats that I really like from a power perspective. I just don't know who else I'd want to roster on the Nationals.
Yeah, you mentioned Big Dumper. Big Dumper Colorado, an appropriate name to highlight considering today's tiers. Are you looking at the entire board here, Bobby? Is there anything you want to change? You want to commit to this? We can go ahead and read it off. I'll give the old summary. I'm also going to want some homers from you. I know we have another Spidey Bomb incoming once we get enough likes. Spidey is dying to give away his 3rd one. But do you feel good about this board? Any last-second changes before I
think it's a perfect board. We didn't go too heavy and on a plane, even though I like some of these teams. Just a lot of their team totals that are above 5 dipped. These were the 2 that I think are the best. I would have rather Marte still be in the Arizona lineup, but what are you going to do? So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that I like.
Okay, let me recap the board. Bobby, think of some homers as I give the recap to the people. I can't read this, but I'm pretty sure that's the Yankees on a plane. I don't know if anybody else can see that. That is a Yankee logo there.
Like, yeah, that's the Yankees.
It looks basically straight black to me. Like you can see it like clearly. I can't see it clearly. Maybe I barely see a silhouette.
It's like that dress that went around Twitter.
Yeah,
blue and
it's
gray.
blue or purple. Yeah, I think it was purple. I'm pretty sure it was purple.
Can you see the T like in the Minnesota Twins beside the Rays in a live podcast?
Can I see what in the Minnesota Twins?
The T?
No. I just I don't see
that.
This.
Looks like Cincinnati Reds to you.
Are you colorblind?
No, it's just no. I want to know if the chat can see too. I don't see. I know there's a T there, but I see the frame.
That would be pretty impossible.
It's like it's dark, but like it's definitely very visible.
Visible. They are dark, but I see it. Like I can read Kansas City Royals fine.
I can see Kansas City as well. It's just I don't know if it's my whatever. I know the Yankees are up top. They're on a plane hanging out with the D-backs. Snakes on a plane. How about that? The Arizona Diamondbacks. All right, Outdoor Musical Festival, tier number 2. It's the Mets and the Cubs. Houston, Padres, Mariners. Most popular tier number 3 on a live podcast. It's Tampa, St. Pete, Minnesota Twins, Boston, Milwaukee, Texas, Washington. At your significant other's place, it's the Reds, the Royals, Toronto, the Athletics, and the Angels. And at home, we have that's the Marlins and the Rockies, the Pirates, and the White Sox. Those teams are always in that tier. By the way, Dave is vouching for me. Just at a quick glance, there's basically nothing there. Yeah, I can't see it.
I don't trust either of you.
Wow, you don't trust Dave? Like Dave Potts, CheeseIsGood?
I'm out. I can't read the musings anymore, to be honest.
What? Did something happen?
I have two kids that are I don't have the time.
Maybe you can read it to them.
I would love to. I think it's the best MLB content. I just don't have. I haven't had the time recently. Like the last 3 weeks, haven't had any time. Actually, probably for a whole year. I've read it like a couple times, but I just don't because we do walks and like stuff that like is annoying. And if I'm on my phone, I get yelled at. You know.
Can you hire somebody to read it to you? Maybe we can do that.
No. So remember, I told you to download
there's an app for it, right?
There's an app that'll read it to you, but I get in trouble for being on my phone or having my AirPods in. So yeah, I'm done trying to.
Eric has he says, have your kid read it to you. Can your kid read the music?
If you have an opportunity to read it, you have an edge over me. I'll tell you that much.
There you go. Dave will read it to you on a landline. I would call that number. It's $2.99 the first minute and 69 cents each additional minute. All right, homers. You got some home runs for me, Bobby? What do you got?
I do not have any homers currently because, like I said, I'm not able to read the musings. I will say guys that I like. Oh, dude, let's go. Let's go. Gino Suarez.
Eugenio.
Like Eugenio, yeah. Eugenio Suarez. Can I say Aaron Judge? It seems pretty easy to say Aaron Judge.
You know, it's like a layup, but
let's go.
Say it. It says something about you if you say Aaron Judge, but you can say it.
No, you won't say that. Pete Alonso, like Alonso.
Sure. Yeah. You got like an ambitious one for me? Somebody off the board a little bit?
We can check. Is Jackson Merrill ambitious? No. Let's go Jonathan Aranda.
There you go.
He's becoming one of my favorite players.
Yeah. Aranda. He's very good against righties this year. Good ballpark as well. Joe Ryan, tough opponent. Okay, let's go ahead and
tell
the people.
I'm not the musings for what it's worth. Like you should be reading the musings every day if you can. I just no time recently.
The musings are spectacular. I do read them every single day. Thankfully, I have the time to do so. Let's get the recap of today's Television Tuesday. Well, what a shout out to Blink-182 again. Clue number 1 was tail. The lead character in this television show actually has pigtails, famously. Object is in reference to one of the characters in this show. One of the characters' name is Thing. An object is a thing, right? That's like something you'd see, like Wheel of Fortune or something like that. The clues get better. The third clue is apple. Adam's apple, the name of this family. Their last name is Adams. 4 is Hump. What is Hump Day? What day is Hump Day?
I knew it was a double entendre clue. It's Wednesday.
Yes, and you would find Wednesday on a calendar as well. So there you go. Wednesday,
So
the TV
what's
show
the
Wednesday.
show? What's the show?
Fester also has a hump.
Yes.
In his
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So there is a double play on Hump, and apparently, according to TJ, he said it's the most popular TV show on Netflix. I guess TJ would know because he has a site that talks about things of that sort.
Season 1 passed Stranger Things for like the most viewed season of television that Netflix had.
I have to say, have either of you watched The Last of Us?
First season, yes. I've not got to the second
I
season.
just told you that I had a whole podcast breaking down every episode at the beginning of this show, Bobby.
How terrible is that show now?
No spoilers, please. But, I'm looking forward to it.
It's so
the game's
bad.
a lot of fun, and season 1 was very good.
I know this is going to get on under TJ's skin because he definitely likes it. I cannot do it. We watch it every Sunday, and I don't know why I keep going back to it.
You're hate watching it now is what's happening?
I'm hate watching it, yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. I'll tell you one thing that people are not going to hate watch. It is crunch time. You got Kevin Roth, you have Kristi, you have Dave
This
Potts.
is the other thing. I can just watch, instead of reading the musings, I can just watch crunch time.
Well, I was trying to throw it to crunch time, but I got really interrupted. Yeah, let's do crunch time right now. Crunch time? Kevin Roth, what's going on? How are things?
Pretty good. I'm emailing with the Weather Edge people. It was down earlier today. I don't know if anybody noticed.
Who's on the other end? Kirkwood and Chop?
I wish it would be better off if it were. No, I don't want to disparage them. They help build a great product, but just frustrating communication sometimes.
You can outsource it to Kirkwood and Chop. It'd be like outsourcing it to India, like Coinbase did for all their users.
I don't know if that would be a great idea. The dew point model, I don't know if we're ready for that yet.
It's still in beta for a reason. It's been 20 years. And it is back up, by the way, Roth. I'm not sure if you checked. I'm sure
it is. Every time I send an email like it's down, they respond like, nope, it's up. I'm like, well, it was down. So that seems like a problem. Can we address that that's a problem? And not celebrate that it's back up?
Don't they know who you are? I'm Kevin Roth, not the other Kevin Roth. I'm the Kevin Roth.
The big one.
He definitely said that. He definitely said that. Don't you know who I am?
Do you have Twitter? Do I have to tell you how many followers I have?
Yeah, I've never said that in my life.
Roth unfollowed me recently, or like 2 months ago. I must have said something, and I'm like,
I did not unfollow you.
You unfollowed me. You unfollowed me.
This is a lie. I'm gonna.
You were making your numbers. You're doing the numbers thing.
Let me see.
No, you refollowed me, I think.
Oh, so I did follow
me back, but you followed me and then unfollowed me. Yeah.
It was like a 2-hour window where you got nervous.
Dean's a big follower snob. Like he will not follow you. It took me like 6 years of playing DFS for Dean to hit the follow back.
Following right there. I follow you. I don't want to hear it.
Everybody else doing all right? But Dave, you were with me. That was not just my eyes playing tricks on me. That board is funky, right?
The thing, if you're very much looking for it, you can see it. But again, if you just kind of glance at it, you don't know it's a baseball team listed there, you wouldn't see it. No one would just look at that and go, oh, look at that Yankees logo. You have to be looking at it. And then you're like, oh, you can make it out. Sure. But it's not. It's obviously 4,000 times less clear than the other ones. And that Twins, if you glance at it, it's the Reds for sure.
Yes. Yeah. You see the C for the city, but you don't see.
But again, this all with the caveat that I'm 50 years old. So
I'm not young either. So maybe it's a correlation thing. I don't know. Kristi, how are you? Things well?
Doing great. Yeah. Great to join you guys tonight. And yeah, doing very good.
Don't lie, Kristi.
No, I am. I'm doing good. Coming off a long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. So absolutely.
Hopefully you all had good times. Bobby, anything else before you step aside and get out of here? Make way for crunch time?
That's it. Good luck tonight, guys.
That was Bobby. I was Dean. Hit the like button. Do not go anywhere. You got 45 minutes nonstop. MLB DFS conversation starts. It starts right now. Take care of it, Kevin. It's all yours, Roth.
It does indeed. Thank you, Dean. Welcome to it, ladies and gents. You know the drill. Crunch time. Two of the sharpest minds in the biz. Of course, we got the OG, Dave Potts, in the house. Cheese is good. Cheese, what's happening, man? How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like it's been a while. Have I been out? Have you been out? We haven't seen each other in a minute.
Well, I'm usually on Fridays, but last Friday I went to a Keith Urban concert in Atlanta, so I was off last
Cool.
Friday. It was a great weekend. So I'm like, I went to a Keith Urban concert, grilled some steaks twice this weekend, and then last night, as mentioned briefly in the musings, I made this thing called a tomahawk steak. Which is like literally as big as my head. It was like almost 5 pounds
with a giant bone in, right?
Yeah,
Like
with a bone,
in?
it's like a hammer of Thor. And I made it on the big green egg, and it was unbelievable. I'm still just sort of reveling in the glory that was the tomahawk steak.
You deserve it, and I'm so happy for you that you've just found this like love of grilling. You're in, like you were
it's
not this in a few years
what
ago.
a good hobby to have.
Yeah.
It has worked out really well.
Everybody loves it. Your family loves it. You love it. You know,
the
I
dog
love talking about
absolutely loves it. It's just getting dripped on all day.
Yeah, that's great. Good stuff. Speaking of it's good stuff, we got Kristi in the house as well. Kristi, it has also been a minute since I've seen you. Chat always gets hyped up when you're here, and it is a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys too. It's been a busy stretch. I actually did a week ago today. I did a honor flight to DC. If you're familiar with that, just take veterans out, serve as a guardian. We flew like 85 veterans out of Sioux Falls to Washington, D.C. just for the day. So it was really, really cool. So I've been busy with that. Kind of been one of my projects that I've been working on.
Did you fly the plane, Kristi?
Yeah,
we flew.
No, exactly. No, I didn't fly the plane. I was, didn't fly, but had a whole great group of people. We actually had 2 World War II vets on too. So it was kind of a cool little journey.
Look at you giving back. I love that. By the way, hey, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to drop a like, thumbs up. Just close the chat for a sec to hit that button, then pop right in. Thank you, Jonathan, for you put it in everything. Good stuff. It is a good reminder. Hit that thumbs up for Cheese on the Grill for Kristi, doing good things with veterans here. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to smash that like button. And of course, you can like it for my weather updates as well, which we will dive into right now. I do believe, Cheese, that the Baltimore game is not on the slates. We don't care, correct?
Correct.
But somebody out there cares because somebody's sports betting. And I will say they pulled the tarp. The heavier rain has started to clear. And I expect they're going to play 9 innings in light rain. Like that's just what it seems that they are going to do. The only other spot really worth mentioning is probably Tampa. I wouldn't be fully shocked if we got a delay in Tampa, but I think those chances are maybe 10, 15%. So play pitchers anyways, if you're planning on it. Delay chances are not high enough to not play pitchers, and the game will certainly play either way. So it's 90 degrees and winds are kind of blowing out. So I like hitters there as well. And then Chicago, of course, we have to discuss because it's cold and winds are blowing in. And we talked about that yesterday. Cheese, did you see the PCA home run that wasn't last night? Yesterday?
I was so happy for you. Yes. Kevin's dream.
Yeah. I just love, I talk about it all the time, but to visually see it happen, to see the dude just hit the home run and start trotting and then just look in disbelief, like looking around in amazement. Oh God, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was helpful. I mean, most people who are in our circles fully understand the Wrigley wind. Yep. And most weather in general, but especially the Wrigley wind. But there are people who don't. So that was going to be useful for them to see it.
Yes. Yeah. I've learned that, the people that follow me are all pretty sharp. Most of them come from DFS backgrounds. DFS players are well-researched. They're very nuanced. But as I'm getting more into sports betting, I'm realizing these people,
these jabronis know
these guys, they don't know what the hell they're doing. No, there are a lot of just casual sports bettors who are just like, oh, that's a good, I know that guy. Boom, $5, he's going to hit a home run. And they don't, they don't have the research. So cool to try to spread the importance of weather to them as well. That's my spiel. That's it. Let's talk about the slate. Kristi, you can lead us off. Tell me a little bit about the slate as you started building. What jumped out to you?
Yeah, a couple things. I mean, it's a big slate. Obviously, always love reading Cheese's article to start the day, and there's a lot of things that I found.
At least someone reads it.
Exactly. I heard Bobby. Yeah, exactly. I caught that. But I tell you what, I agree a lot of things. I find for a bigger slate, I actually find my pitching pool smaller than I would maybe expect. So I'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, a little bit smaller. And even the stacks a little bit smaller too. But yeah, there's a lot of great options. We have the Yankees on the slate tonight. We have the Diamondbacks on the slate, 2 stacks that are checking out as really great top options. But then I think there's a lot of interesting options kind of in the mid tier that we can get to, and some sneakier stacks. But yeah, I think on the pitching, I'm a little bit smaller pool than I expected when I first started the day.
Okay, well, let's dive into it. Cheese, I'm going to give you first crack at pitchers in general. And then Kristi, I'll come back on your thoughts, and you can lead us out in the stacks department. Cheese, building pitchers. You need 2 of them on DK, 1 on FanDuel. What are you doing?
Yeah. So what I said earlier today in the musings, and kind of still feel the same way. I think the pricing is just correct. Like a lot of days we have a mispricing, which leads to, oh, you got to play this guy, he's chalk. It's just like if you go straight down the line, it's all just correct in the right order, which means you can play kind of any price range you want, and you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because of that, and how many good bats there are, I really don't have much of the expensive pitchers. Not that they're not the best pitchers. Like you can just go straight down the line of salary. Like I would say Hunter Brown, Carlos Rodon, Nathan Eovaldi, down to Joe Ryan next. Like those are the best pitchers, but I don't really have that much money to spend. You can do it. I've got a little bit of those guys. Very little Hunter Brown, as it turns out. Just that salary is just right at that point where you're missing out on so much offense. So Joe Ryan is kind of my first choice at the high end. But even that, I don't think you have to get him. On DraftKings, I'm finding myself with a lot of Tyler McGill, a fair amount of Cade Horton, way too much Taj Bradley. Like that's the one that could go poorly. Like we don't know to what extent he's sort of back, or if is just in fact a mediocre pitcher who's now pitching in a bad ballpark. I don't know. I just know he's too cheap for who he could be.
Yeah.
I even have a fair amount now on DK of Logan Evans for 6,500. He's nothing special, but I think he's fine. And the difference between what you get with that and with, like, if you try to play Hunter Brown and Carlos Rodon, you're not playing a lot of these superstar offenses. So on DraftKings, again, to recap, I do have a fair amount of Joe Ryan and a little bit of Carlos Rodon, but mostly, and you can throw Corbin Burns in there as well. Mostly I'm on McGill, Horton, and then if I need more savings, Bradley or even Logan Evans. On
Before
the FanDuel side,
real quick, can I just ask if everything is priced properly for the talent and the situations they're in? Are you more so playing an ownership game, or is it because they're priced properly, the ownership spread out, and you're not all that concerned about ownership?
Yeah, there
either?
doesn't appear to be much of an ownership edge because it really is pretty spread out.
Yeah.
So that you don't end up with massive chalk on any of these guys. So
Okay.
I would definitely play the ownership game, but I don't see it being a huge issue.
Gotcha. Okay.
On FanDuel, like the noticeable discount is Cade Horton. We just want to mention again, like we have no idea if this guy's going to be good. It's a third career start. He's made 3 appearances. He was kind of good in the minors, not really good so far. It's just simply he's a human who might be good facing the Rockies with the wind blowing in. That's all you need to know.
But that's more than enough to know, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
especially
that's
at
enough.
7,600 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
And like he very much might be good. Like this is not like a definite nobody. Like he might be good. I certainly have a fair amount of Rodon and Ryan on FanDuel because you can, if you just skip the few top bats in the 4K range, you can get those guys. But essentially McGill and Horton are more of my pool on FanDuel.
Okay. Do you get a question? Your favorite FanDuel pitcher in a GPP?
Cade Horton. Yeah. And to be fair, I think he'll be the highest owned pitcher, but like a bunch of them all smashed together around 15 to 20%. It's not some huge issue.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kristi, I want your thoughts here. You're trying to take down tournaments as you so often do. Who are you looking to at pitcher?
Yeah, I'll start out over on FanDuel, start there first. I agree. Cade Horton just makes a lot of sense because of his price point. And there's a lot of bats that I want to play tonight, particularly, Yankees, Diamondbacks, the Mets, Cubs, some expensive bats in there. So I like that a lot. And like Cheese mentioned, gets a great matchup against the Rockies, who are striking out the most in MLB right now. So I think 27% of the time. So I just, the matchup is too good. And like you said, the wind is blowing in. I like that. Over on DraftKings too, I like pairing him with Tyler McGill. It allows you to get some good bats in there too. McGill, of course, gets a great matchup against the White Sox. They have a very low implied run total tonight, just shy of 3. So I like that. I also like the Joe Ryan call quite a bit too. He's just been phenomenal for strikeouts this year, 30% strikeout rate. So, and he's going up against the team that drafted him in Tampa Bay. So I do like that. And I'm getting to a little bit of Corbin Burns too. I am playing the 20 entry max tonight. So I do have some exposure to Corbin. Again, great matchup against Pittsburgh as well. But for single entries, I would say on DraftKings, I'm kind of concentrating on Cade Horton and Tyler McGill. And then over on FanDuel, it's definitely Cade Horton tonight by quite a bit, just because that 7,600 price point really allows you to do a lot with your bats.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, let's talk about some of those bats, Kristi, because you mentioned there's some good ones, some top end stuff that you want, some things worth saving for. Let's dive into it. By the way, Steve says, are we worried with Joe Ryan playing at Tampa? Is that a weather question or a?
There's a ballpark question. I
Yeah.
assume, although you did say there's a small chance for a delay there.
But not enough that you should be worried about the rain there. You can be more worried about 90 degrees and a 5
Yeah,
mile
from
per
the
hour
weather
wind,
question, like you should expect him to give up a couple home runs, but it doesn't matter. Like he's the kind of pitcher, he walks nobody and strikes out a ton of people. So if he gives up a couple solo homers, whoop-de-doo is what they say.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo indeed. Okay, Kristi, give me some stacks. I'm going to say whoop-de-doo about. Who you playing?
Yeah. Yep. Well, I already mentioned the Yankees and Diamondbacks. They definitely check out as two of my favorites tonight. I know in the Arizona lineup, there's no Kettle Marte tonight, but still have a lot of interest. And there are some value bats in that lineup too that we can get to save a bit of money. So like those two quite a bit. The Mets also look really, really appealing. Juan Soto checks out great. Pete Alonso. Brett Beatty, if you're looking to save some money. So certainly we have interest there. And then some of the value bats. And I believe Cheese, you wrote this up too, but Seattle is looking pretty attractive too. You get some cheaper guys like Mitch Garver in the lineup, but they're sneakily, kind of in the top 10 now for team ISO. So there's some power there. Obviously, Cal Roth,
even at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Right.
People always say, oh, I'm not going to play them at home. Well, they're smashing the ball there too.
They are. I know. And I really dove into the numbers this weekend and have been playing them quite a bit. And absolutely right. You've got Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, Mitch Garver to save money. You've got more in that lineup. So I think they're a sneaky stack. And again, you can, mix them with the Diamondbacks, mix them with the Yankees a little bit. Always have interest in the Cubs, even if, the weather is, it just doesn't matter. Although it did matter for Pete Crow Armstrong, like you said the other day. But it's just there's just so much power in that lineup, and if you look at it from top to bottom, they can definitely do some damage. So like them, and then I'd also maybe throw Texas in there too, not because I love them and they've been terrible, but they are a value stack that you can, again, if you're paying up for pitching and whatnot. I don't mind them getting to a little bit of the Rangers in there too. But for me, I'm really trying to pay up tonight, especially since I'm paying down more so at pitching and the Yankees and Diamondbacks. And then Seattle kind of for my cheaper stack are some of my favorites.
Okay, good stuff. Cheese, your turn. As I look at our optimal team stacks, it's actually got the Astros at almost 20% optimal. I don't know why, but I'm interested if you are interested.
I'm not interested, but the reason why is because they're cheap and they are 9 right-handed batters facing a left-handed pitcher who allows power. Like they should hit some home runs at a low price. So they're going to pop for that reason.
Yeah.
I just don't like the team, and
you never have. You never do.
Well,
I think you're a little bit of an Astros hater.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
But like for sure, they are a little underpriced for like on just each guy you look at. You're like, yeah, he's a little underpriced for facing JP Sears. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hit 4 home runs tonight, or 0 because they're terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. All right, be that way.
And I'll also
let's talk
say
about
the Yankees are making it kind of tough to love. Like you really want righties there, and it's now essentially Goldschmidt and Judge. Like they're not even playing Dominguez tonight. I mean, Volpe too, but like then if you want to play righties, you're playing LeMahieu and Peraza, or you're spending up on lefties against Tyler Anderson. Like they could break the slate in 2 innings against that bullpen still. Like I don't dislike it at all. But they are behind Arizona and the Mets for me.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to throw in the mix here while we're on the topic?
Kristi pretty much covered it. Texas and Seattle for sure for salary savers, and then I like Boston and Kansas City are the other 2 teams I'm playing a good bit of.
Yeah. Dean pointing out that the Yankees lineup there, Volpe is cleanup man. That seems odd. I don't know much about him, but I don't think he's like the prototypical cleanup guy, right?
Well, he's sitting 5th, but same idea.
Grisham, Judge. Oh, you're right. Sorry.
But yeah, it's like they're just good, but they are better suited in general to face right-handed pitching.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got a Astros defender in the chat. I'm with you, Marcus. I'm here in Houston. I'm not hating on the Astros. Let's go ahead and talk about position by position. We'll go around the horn and then we'll answer some questions. Cheese, lead us off. Catcher talk.
You know who the play is. Kevin, tell us who the play is at catcher.
Is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He's one of the top 10 hitters in baseball.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Top
And that's not
hitters.
even in any way a joke or an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Like the numbers fully support that.
It's awesome. The guy's got so much power. He can hit 2 home runs on any night, and they're just not pricing him up enough. 5,300, at 6,300, maybe I wouldn't play him. 5,300, I'm locking that dumper in.
Nice analysis. I love it. We should also note you do have another Seattle catcher who's super cheap. Mitch Garver, not as good as Raleigh, but also a guy with some power. So he's my favorite cheap catcher. I kind of like Narvaez and Contreras. Yainer Diaz is one of those just kind of a little bit too cheap Astros that even if you don't like the Astros, you're free to play him for 3,400. And I think that's it other than stuff in stacks. I'm kind of Jonah Heim, but I think I only ended up with him in Texas stacks.
Yeah. Okay. Kristi, anything you want to add there at catcher?
Yeah, a lot of agreement for sure. I think, Mitch Garver, I like him for cheap if you're not paying all the way up for Cal Raleigh, but like both of those quite a bit. Navarez for Boston. His price has been very, very reasonable, and he's been batting, right in the middle of the order there. So I like that quite a bit. Austin Wells did crack the lineup for the Yankees. So I don't mind that play as well. I'd maybe just throw in for Arizona, Gabriel Moreno in there too. I'm using him certainly in the Arizona stacks. And then probably throw Salvador Perez. I know touched a little bit upon Kansas City as a cheaper stack too. So, but otherwise, yeah, a lot of the same plays for sure.
Okay. Take me to first base, Kristi.
Yep. So for first base, there's, a decent amount of guys. One of the guys that checks out, we talked about some of those Houston bats being very, very cheap. Christian Walker, I do think is a good play. And I think he's a fine one-off play too. He's got some power. His price has really come down. So don't mind that at all. Paul Goldschmidt, I really like quite a bit. A lot of interest in the Yankees, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. So he's probably my highest owned first baseman. If you're looking to save, you can get DJ LeMahieu in there. Don't mind that. Vinny Pasquantino, I think is great. His price has really come down too, at just 3,400 over on DraftKings. I think he's a, again, one-off or in those Royal stacks, I think are great. Josh Naylor, I like a lot too. Again, like those Diamondbacks quite a bit. He's just 4,500 and he's just 3K over on FanDuel. So he's somebody else that I have my eye on. And then Pete Alonso, obviously we talked about the Mets being a top tier stack tonight. He's expensive, but certainly worth it. But that's primarily the pool that I'm kind of looking at for first base tonight.
Okay. Cheese first.
I love Alonso and Goldschmidt. If you're spending up, Alonso is definitely my first choice, but Goldschmidt's great. Another one of those cheap Astros, which is the reason why they're
Yeah,
showing up well as
I'm getting
Christian
it.
Walker. And he
Yeah.
actually is the one Astro I would play.
Yeah.
He's my favorite Astro if you got to play one. You don't got to play one, but if you do, he's my favorite. Josh Naylor, like Kristi said, I like especially on FanDuel where he's 3K. My favorite play on DK is Vinny Pasquantino, 3,400. He's actually hitting the ball fantastically well recently. And Brady Singer is, I don't know, it looks like there's something wrong with him. He's been barely better than me his last 4 starts. He's supposed to be much better than me, but right now he's not. So we'll see what happens with that. I guarantee you he could not have seen that Yankees logo on the board. And Jake Berger, another kind of cheap guy you can throw a dart at. That's about it.
Okay, second base, Cheese.
Okay, so the worst chalk I've ever seen is Jose Altuve chalk.
Wow.
He's just
only
old.
3,900.
Yeah.
He's still got a little pop. He's 3,900. Come on, we're already stacking him up, Cheese.
If you say so. I mean, I get it with the pricing. His 053 ISO against lefties doesn't thrill me. That's no sample size at all, but
yeah,
the guy is just old. I get it. I have 0, and I would have less if I could. I don't know what to do with Brandon Lau because I do like Joe Ryan, but he's a much more close to average pitcher against lefties. And like I would play Lau ahead of Altuve. But I like Christian Campbell in that price range. I like spending up a little to be different with Dylan Moore. On FanDuel, I like Brett Beatty. And then I don't mind full punting with Jordan Lawler. Even outside of a stack, like this is the position as usual, like just throw a minimum salary dart and hope you get something because the expensive guys are less likely to kill you. So I wasn't going to mention Brooks Lee just because I do every day and he's facing Taj Bradley, but he actually is hitting cleanup. And he's dual position eligible. And same thing as Lau. Like it's a very good pitcher, but not nearly as good. And we don't know if he's good. We're talking about Taj Bradley. He might be good. He might just not be good. I don't know. Yeah. So feel free to play Brooks Lee.
Okay, very good. Kristi, I think this is kind of a fun position. There's not a lot of good here, but it's a little interesting. What are your favorites at second?
Yep, it is. There are a lot of different ways that you can go. Jose Altuve is going to be very, very popular, but there's a lot of pivots here. Like we mentioned, I do like Brett Beatty quite a bit over on FanDuel. Just 2,700 makes a ton of sense and really helps you to, fit in all the other, high tier guys over on the Mets lineup. So I like that quite a bit. I'd also throw in a couple of the Kansas City guys too. You can play Jonathan India, you can play Michael Massey, especially if you're, you've got, Kansas City as a secondary stack. So don't mind that. And I too do like Jordan Lawler as a punt. I mean, he just kind of makes things work and you can actually kind of play Arizona and the Yankees together just because of his price. I know he hasn't done anything yet, but he's a good player and he's been called up for a reason. So I don't mind that punt as well. Christian Campbell, I like that call a lot too, just because his price hasn't, really moved a whole lot, especially over on DraftKings at just 3,800. I do like that. I'd also maybe we talked a little bit about Brooks Lee, Cody Clemens, I think is fine too. He's just 3,500. So I think there's a lot of different interesting ways that you can go. Brandon Lau, to me, going up against Joe Ryan, he'd be more just a one-off play for me, but he's been very hot. I mean, hitting a lot of home runs, doing really, really well. So definitely not stacking Tampa Bay, but I think he's a fine one-off play. But a lot of the same guys that Cheese is on for sure.
Okay, Kristi, take me to third base, please.
Yeah, so at third base, we've got, Devers obviously checks in. And I think, if I remember right, that's one of TJ's Spidey bombs. I like that. That's a great call. Devers has been great lately. You're going to have a guy, Isaac Paredes, in that Houston lineup that's going to check out. He's pretty inexpensive on both sites. And so you're going to see a lot of ownership on Paredes and Devers. For me, I really like Eugenio Suarez. He's been great too. And if you look at, he's been just hitting home runs, smashing the ball. So I think he's a great play. This is where you can play Brett Beatty on DraftKings. So at just $3K, he makes a ton of sense. I'm playing Josh Young just in Texas stacks, but his price doesn't really seem to increase all that much either, just 3,800 over on DraftKings. So I do like him. If you're looking to save money, you could play Peraza in the Yankees lineup, but I would say for me, I like Devers quite a bit, but Suarez is the guy that I own quite a bit tonight in those Arizona stacks, and then Brett Beatty over on DraftKings as well.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Cheese, your thoughts at third.
Love Devers. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. Also Suarez. I'm not playing a lot of San Diego, but I do want a little bit of Machado and Tatis in the outfield. Not a lot, but just a little sprinkle here and there. I also have a lot of Josh Young, Brett Beatty on DraftKings, same names there. I don't think I have anything to add. It's not a very deep position. It's okay up top, but it's not very deep.
Yeah. Okay. Then we get to go to shortstop, Cheese.
Yeah, we got a lot of the good stuff in pretty decent matchups. I think Lindor is probably the highest owned, ahead of Witt and way ahead of Ellie. I went out of my way to throw a little Ellie in, even though I prefer Lindor and Witt. So it's just to spend up to be different. You can do the same thing with CJ Abrams if you want. Just say these guys are all great. You should play them when no one's playing them. But if you're not concerned about the ownership, I like Lindor and Witt. Again, we have another Astro here that I don't have any of. It's fine. I get it. I would rather play Volpe than Pena if you're going a little cheaper. Josh Smith, he's the kind of player I prefer in stacks. I don't love him as a one-off, but he's pretty good real-life hitter. You do have cheap Brooks Lee here again. Trevor Story in that price range sort of makes the list. But as always, you should probably spend up at shortstop because it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Kristi, you spending up at short?
Yep, I am. Yeah, a lot of great options. Lindor looks great again in those Mets lineups. Bobby Witt, of course. I would also throw and Volpe too, obviously in the Yankees stack. We touched upon him. I'd throw Perdomo in there for Arizona. He's batting second tonight. He has been batting ninth lately, but Marte out, they've kind of shuffled the lineup up a little bit. So he's someone that I'm getting to a little bit. You could throw, JP Crawford in there too. Seattle, we mentioned them kind of as sneaky stack. When I'm looking to stack Seattle, don't mind him paying down, but mostly it is a pay up spot for me too. I agree with Josh Smith. I'm playing him in Texas stacks only. But yeah, Witt, Volpe, Lindor, all looking pretty great. Although at the moment, it looks like Pena is going to carry quite a bit of the ownership in the lineup tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Kristi, you get the honor of taking us to the outfield. What are you prioritizing there?
Yeah, so the outfield, a lot of great options in the outfield tonight. I mean, you've got Aaron Judge, who's been absolutely fantastic. His price continues to rise, but absolutely worth it. Juan Soto is a fantastic play at the top tonight, too, for expensive. Other guys I like, I do like Trent Grisham and Cody Bellinger a ton. Corbin Carroll is expensive, and that's why it really pays to, look at, paying down at pitching and then getting some of those cheaper value plays in there so you can afford some of these bats in there tonight. I would also throw Brandon Nimmo is pretty cheap on both sites in the Mets lineup. Lourdes Gurriel, another cheap play in the Arizona lineup that I have interest in. And then I would throw Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena in the Seattle stacks. I like both of those guys. We haven't touched on a lot of Cubs, but I do think they are a great play. Getting some exposure if you're getting stacks, obviously. Pete Crow Armstrong's been fantastic. Kyle Tucker. And of course, they're just loaded with talent in the outfield. So a lot of great plays there. And And then cheaper guys, one guy that does stand out again, that's going to probably carry, not a ton of ownership, but I think Cam Smith will carry some ownership for Houston stacks. Just he's 2,800. Jake Myers is pretty cheap too at 3,500. Again, I'm with Cheese. Not a lot of interest on the Houston side of things. More focused on, again, the Yankees, Diamondbacks, and Mets in the outfield.
Yeah, good stuff. Cheese, your favorites in the outfield, please.
I mean, the expensive stuff is fantastic. Judge and Carroll in particular, and a lot of other stuff. But if you need to go super duper cheap on DraftKings, we do have Osuna for Texas, who's a decent looking player, and this John Rave character, party animal John Rave, minimum salary on both sides. Yep. I mean, I so badly want this guy to be amazing, but he has a lot of speed in the minors. Good, takes a lot of walks, a little bit of power. Like, I think he is a very reasonable play. It's not just that he's a 2K punt. So you can go that way. I do like Julio Rodriguez and Arozarena a lot. Also the Mets, Soto, Nimmo. I mean, there's a ton of outfielders, but I like spending up or spending down. But other mid-tier things I like are Wilyer Abreu, Wyatt Langford. I think that's enough to mention. I mean, there's a ton of outfielders, but those are kind of my highlights.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kind of scrolling up. We got a bunch of questions going in. That's what I like to see. We will answer those in just a bit. First, though, get you the best deal in the industry. Smash that like button for us. The MLB DFS annual option is $425, but we've dropped the price of our combo product to give you all the sports for the price of baseball. That's a great deal. Combo 6-month pro gives you full access to content, tools, and projections for every sport except NASCAR at a cheaper price than doing it month by month. You save 35% if you do the 6-month option. So you should obviously be doing that. Cheese, I'm building my first MLB lineup of the year tonight. First time I've done it all year.
Beautiful. It's about time.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Give it a couple months to settle in,
Yeah, right. Who do you think I'm stacking, Cheese?
You're stacking Tampa and Minnesota.
Tampa and Houston.
Okay. I thought you'd go full weather.
No. I'm not going. That is a good guess. That is a solid thought. Houston's calling to me, man. Okay, let's get to some of these QQs. Oh, we need home run calls. Kristi, the people want some home run calls. They want something obvious, something in the middle, and something sneaky.
Okay. A few of the guys that I like, I'm going to throw Cody Bellinger in there on the Yankees. He's actually been hitting the ball really, really well lately. So I like Cody Bellinger quite a bit. I am going to throw Brandon Nimmo in there as a second one. And then the third one, I am going to go to one of your Houston guys and go with Christian Walker tonight.
Nice. I approve. Cheese, you got some names for me as well?
For home runs?
Yes, that is correct. I know it's your favorite part of the show, Cheese.
All right.
Don't let the people down.
You know it is. Cal Raleigh.
Like that.
How about Salvador Perez and Wilyer Abreu?
Okay. Man, I just forgot how stressed out trying to make baseball lineups makes me. You're like, oh, I got to do the stack, but this guy's a righty and that pitcher's a righty, and now I got to take a lefty. It
doesn't matter. They're all just arms. I mean,
yeah. Oh, I like this Caballero guy. Can I play him?
Kevin, you can do whatever you want.
You're like, yeah, sure, why not?
That's like the worst play you could have possibly said. It really is. I'm not even going to say because he'll be the guy that wins it.
He'll hit a home run.
But have at it.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, sir.
I'm going to let it ride
for you.
I'm going to let it go. We'll see what happens. Oh, because it's righty, and we want a lefty
against literally the best pitcher in the league against righties this year for strikeouts. 40% strikeout rate.
Well, that's bad. Yeah.
Roth said I'm going to play a baseball team tonight and pick the stack that Cheese likes the least of every single stack on the slate, and then loaded it up with some Caballero and other guys that he didn't like.
A 28% strikeout hitter against a 40% strikeout pitcher. It's not bad. Anything can happen.
This is why I don't play often. And I'll leave it at that. I don't play baseball very often for that exact reason.
But to be fair, everyone's playing Houston. I'm just not based on ownership. Like,
Sure.
I'm not saying Houston is a bad play.
Right. I got you. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I like this approach from Bean Dude. I just play guys who smile in their DK profile pictures. It's a solid choice.
That's a reasonable way to do it.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, let's see what we got here. Well, why can't I play Jock Peterson tonight, Kristi? Why can't I? Achilles says.
Because he's on the injured list, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he has a
there's-
broken hand.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So
that's a good
if he
reason.
pinch hits, it'll be from the injured list with a broken hand.
Yeah. These are good reasons. Best one-off cheese. This is 2,300 or less on FanDuel.
23. There's actually plenty of plays at
Okay.
2,300.
Okay.
Did you think something? Did you have one that popped?
I
to your
thought
mind?
that it was 2,500 was the cheapest there. No, Is
No,
that-
2,000. It goes down at 2K.
Okay, all right. My bad.
Like off the top of my head, Osuna for Texas, probably my favorite. I would have to dig through like Rave or Osuna, I would say.
Okay. Sweet girl, Dad is on a show. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Daddy loves you. Chicago or Boston stack in a FanDuel GPP.
You said Boston or Chicago?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I would say
Chicago,
Chicago
like
or Boston
big
stack
Cubs.
FanDuel GPP.
yeah, I would go with the Cubs.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Is 4 Mets too many on DK Cash, Kristi? 4 Mets too many in DK Cash.
I don't think so. I don't think so tonight.
Okay. Cheese coming to you. Question from Crazy Coop, FanDuel single entry. Twins cheap stack to get different with a higher price starting pitcher. Cheese, you got any twin stacks?
Yeah, I think that's definitely playable.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
We just don't know if Taj Bradley is good or broken.
Let's see. Outfield, DK Cash, Cheese, Abreu, or Nimmo?
Ooh, really like them both. I would go Abreu.
Oh, this is a good thought by Mike. He says, Roth, have your daughter pick the team for my secondary stack. Now that we've kind of
She would
issued
not pick Caballero.
Yeah, she would do better than I for sure. Let's see. I think we're like 6 minutes until lock, which is pretty good timing here, as my family is itching to come in and hang. By the way, we do have a golf show at 7:15. So assuming we get out of here right at 7:05, 10 minutes later, we've got a golf show. So don't go anywhere. I cannot say enough nice things about the golf content we have here at RotoGrinders. I think those guys are fantastic. Really, really good team. Highly recommend that you tune in for that. Some legit experts there. Let's see. Cheese, Logan Evans or Taj Bradley?
Slightly into Bradley, but pretty
Okay.
pretty similar.
Kristi, is Jackson Churio a good play in DK Cash? I don't see why he's so cheap when he had a pretty good week.
In cash, you said on
Yep.
DK.
Yep, it was DK Cash, Jackson Churio. Cheerio, mate.
He's not anyone that I'm getting to in cash tonight. I think he's fine though. But yeah, he didn't make a cash lineup. But yeah, I think he's fine.
Okay, very good. Is Cheese a BVP truther? Is Cheese a BVP truther? Cheese?
I would need a definition of the term BVP truther.
I think the answer is no. I'm going to go with the...
Based on what I think the question means, obviously,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I think the answer is no. Kristi, DK Cash question for you. Rodon, Duran, or Miguel and Judge?
You say that one more time.
Do I have to do the weird Miguel voice?
Please say it exactly. again.
Rodon and Duran or Miguel and Judge?
I'm gonna go with Judge. The one with Judge.
It's
Judge
just a weird
and
name.
who? Judge and who?
Miguel. It's just a weird, every time I see it, I'm like, man, that's a weird name. It makes me want to say it in a weird voice. I can't help it.
Yep.
Let's see. Did I do Logan Evans or Taj Bradley, Cheese? Did you answer that one?
You sure did.
Okay.
Still Bradley, barely.
Yeah. K-Town's Finest says, Cheese, thoughts on Kolick Horton combo with Yankees and Mets?
So I didn't get to any Kolick, but he's one of those guys. Like if it were a different slate, like we would be talking about him kind of the way we're talking about like Horton. Like he's fine, and it's a pretty good matchup. I don't have any, but I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. I think we did that one. Scrolling down. Reese McGuire 2300. This is not a question. This is just a straight up comment. Kristi, do you care to respond to that comment? That is just simply.
I think he typed that in when you said 2,300 or cheaper on FanDuel, and he found a guy for 2,300.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so he's helping out. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yep. Nope. I think I approve. Yeah, he had a couple home runs here over the weekend. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. FanDuel pitcher, FanDuel single entry. Your favorite FanDuel single entry pitcher, 300 entries. Kristi, your favorite FanDuel single entry pitcher. There's 300 entries in this tournament.
Yeah, it's still Cade Orton for me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
Let's see. Scrolling up just a little bit. QQ for cheese, BBP or BBQ? That's good.
Oh, that's not even close. Obviously,
that's
BBQ
like
would be even something else that matters.
Right. The real question is BBQ or ice cream, and that's starting to get close, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know how to answer that.
Right. That's tough because obviously the answer is both.
Yeah, I would need to get more specific on the barbecue and who's making it and what it is.
Right. You'd have to do soul searching as well.
Yeah.
That would take some time. Let's see. Kristi, this one's for you. Beatty and Eugenio Suarez or Tuve and Walker FanDuel GPP?
Going with the first one, Suarez.
Okay. Kristi, right back to you. DZ says Walker Myers or Goldie Cam? That's a DK Cash question.
Goldie Cam.
Miguel Cheese or Burns?
That's close. I think if you have the money, I would go Burns. But if you don't comfortably have it, I would not worry about it and play Miguel.
Okay. I hesitate to even read this question because it's from Eric Johnson, and I know it's a troll, but he says this is not a troll question. So I'm going to, even though the contents of it sure seem like a troll question. White Sox or Rocky stacks? Not a troll. The answer's got to be White Sox over the Rockies. Right?
Yeah, you can make a case for the White Sox. You can't really make a case for the Rockies. You can make a case for the White Sox. Like Miguel can get very inefficient and pitch 3 innings, even against the White Sox. So if you have to do it, you can do the White Sox.
Yeah. Okay. Kristi, FanDuel cash question: Judge, Garver, or Carroll and Rosarena?
Ooh. Judge Garver. I think I'd go Judge Garver.
Okay, very good. We'll hit you with another one here from Keith. Kristi, FanDuel single entry. I've done a terrible job in the Discord, by the way. I apologies to my Discord homies. We'll try to get a couple of those here right now, actually. Kristi, I'm rostering Rodon and Miguel. Are we okay with that?
I am.
Okay. Has Kristi or Cheese ever tried smoked oxtails? They're the best.
I don't even understand the question.
Yeah, like
is that a literal smoked oxtail? Is that a literal term?
Yeah, well, oxtails are a food. You know, people usually braise oxtails.
Where do you get oxtails?
You get them like at
in the
grocery
wild
store.
But no, in the wild, where do they get them from?
I don't know if oxtails are actually
oxtail
tails.
What I think an oxtail sounds like literally, or is this something else?
I don't know, but I doubt it. I don't think you're literally eating the tail of an ox.
It's cowtail.
I need to know.
Is it a cowtail?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised TJ was on that one.
Yeah, he had no doubt about that. He's like, yeah
I feel
buddy.
like this is kind of a deep South soul food thing. So, Cheese, try to.
Or maybe it's a Canadian thing. I don't know.
Right.
I'm going to ask around, though. I'm intrigued. Not intrigued to try it, but I'm intrigued to know if I know people that eat it.
Yeah.
And I probably do, if it's a thing.
There you go. Oxtail is the tail of cattle. Okay. Who knew? All right. I was unaware.
Who knew? TJ knew.
TJ knew is the answer. Yeah, I've braised it before and it came out pretty good. Never tried smoking it. Bates says Kristi and Cheese are the best. Kristi, will you marry me? I assume that's a no.
Kevin's like, nah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's a no. It's FanDuel single entry. Kristi, Soto or Duran one off?
I'd go Soto.
Okay. Cheese, this was for you. Horton and Perdomo or Burns and Brooks Lee?
That's interesting. Definitely Horton Perdomo if you have other Arizona bats. Slightly in that way anyway, but it's much closer if you don't have other Arizona bats.
Okay, very good. Well, we've hit the lock. We wanted to, right? We hit lock, right? I assume it was 5 after, probably. Yeah. We want to clear out of here. We want my daughter to pick my last player, Ellie. Do you think Caballero is going to hit a home run tonight?
L Lee.
Or Lee. I got a nod out of that, and that's all I needed to know is that
I'm full on rooting for him at this point.
He's going yard. Yeah. Thank you, baby girl. Okay, we're going to clear on out of here. So for Cheese, for Kristi, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.